Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for mid-October 2021, and I feel like someone was moving stuff around in my office. I doubt it, because I have a camera in here, and I know no one is in here, but I don't know. Everything's out of place. But anyway, Libra, enough chitter-chatter. Let's see. We're going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. We're going to look at anything unexpected coming in for you in your second row. And then we're going to look at any messages from your guides in your last row. We're also going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end. And we will just see what comes up. If you don't have questions, that's fine too. I'm just going to put all 3 cards together and we'll just see what is going on. But Libra, looks like a pretty decent reading, I would say. Not amazing, necessarily, although, I don't know, I haven't clarified it yet, so it could turn into something much more amazing. But it looks pretty, straightforward here. You start off with this by the book card here. And so what I would say here is, I feel like this is saying don't get stuck doing things by the book. Devil, 10 of Wands to the 5 of Pentacles here. You have a lot of cards here that could kind of represent only seeing one way of doing things, like the 8 of Swords is a card of only seeing one way of doing things, when there are like multiple ways that you could potentially do something, right? So kind of just says stay open to all the possibilities. This comes up a lot during the retrogrades, and the retrograde ends on the 18th, but what I will say is that sometimes I think during retrogrades, we just want something that works, whether it doesn't matter if it's in love, in money, in spirituality, whatever. So we can kind of like stick to what works, and that's like this by the book card here. But sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing, because there might be something that works better if we go on, if we look and discover it, right? So you have the Ace of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the Devil here. I do feel for some of you that you could be in a toxic love situation. It kind of looks like it's becoming a burden, and I feel like you're just walking away from like a love situation for some of you here. So it's like, really, is there a need to mention it? Probably not. For others, I feel like you could just be getting rid of something else in your life that is toxic. Could be anything. Could be an addiction. It could be anything. Could be a person that's just toxic. Doesn't have to be love. I feel like you need to realize that it's like really easy to set yourself free with the Devil. The Devil, the people there, the chains around their neck, they're meant to look very loose. They're meant to look like something that you could just lift off your head and take off. So, in a lot of ways, the Devil is kind of like easy to, it's easy to escape the energy. I think the hard part of it is, doing it. It's hard to do it because sometimes it's like, I don't know, I like pizza, right? So it's like, I probably shouldn't eat pizza. Pizza is the devil in my life, but I still eat it anyway, right? So that's why the Devil is hard to walk away from. But I feel like you need to kind of like have a reason, with the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is like being spoiled for choice, but it can also be like, look, there are like good things in some of these cups and there are bad things in some of these cups. So it kind of like says like, what do you want in the future? What do you want your future life to look like? It's been coming up a lot in my readings. I keep getting this message that we need to work backwards, and this is like the message I've been getting like from the universe, I think, for the past couple of weeks. And what that means to me is I feel like the universe is saying, hey, like what does your perfect life look like? Or, if such a thing exists. And, I would like work backwards from there and like say, okay, well, my perfect life, maybe it looks where I'm healthy and not eating pizza. So that means I have to cut out pizza, right? So I feel like some of you are kind of like working backwards here, but let's get some more details. I do feel there's clearly new love coming in for you because of your next row, which we'll talk about in a minute. But with the Ace of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, love it. 10 of Pentacles to me is one of my favorite cards. To me, it's one of the best love cards in the deck as well. Even though it's a Pentacle card, the 10 of Pentacles kind of represents, having it all. I don't think we truly can ever have it all. That doesn't exist. But, it can be pretty damn close with the 10 of Pentacles. There, it can just be a person This could be you finding love where the person is looking for something long term or really looking to kind of like build or leave a legacy, because the Ten of Pentacles is a card of a legacy. For others, I actually feel like it's pretty powerful. I feel like you are doing something that is going to kind of like, create a legacy in your life. That could be like writing a book or, kind of doing something that leaves your mark. And I feel some of you, whatever you're working on, it's like, you're working up to that. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance here. I do feel like, it's like going this way here. This is like a little bit of a challenging row. The best way I can describe what I'm feeling here is like a very tight energy. It's like if you ever had like, I don't know, like if you've ever been standing too long and like in your foot, the arch of your foot gets super tight and you just need to like stretch it out because it hurts. That's what I get here. That's like the type of tightness that I'm getting. Or like if you ever have like your neck tightens up on you and you can't turn it, like I feel like something needs to be stretched out here. It's probably you that needs to be stretching out here. That could be literally, but I feel it's more talking about the fact that you could be seeing only one way of doing things. And it's like I think it's hard to stretch because if you've ever hurt your neck or if you've ever hurt your foot, if you've been standing too long, it's like it hurts to do the stretching in the first place, but it's probably also the thing that's going to kind of, break you away from the stress, the pain, the, whatever it is that you're feeling. Weird message. I don't think I've ever had anything like that. With the Devil, you have the Ace of Cups. So I feel like for some of you, there's clearly new love coming in for you. I do feel like you could be, there could be love here with a devil-type person, but for the most part, I feel like you're walking away from a devil situation. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the Love card. So clearly, I feel like there could be like new love coming in for you here with the Love card. This Love card in this deck can also represent something that you do love. It could be like a dog. It could be a pet. And I have pets popping into bed, so somebody out there might be getting a new dog or a new pet. But on top of that, it could represent something you love doing, like a hobby, a business, whatever. So it can kind of represent, this card in particular, can kind of represent like where your heart is, where you are putting it. You have the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and you, Libra, the Justice card showing up here. So I feel like you're in a very strong position. I kind of feel like this is saying that you are the one that is making the decisions. Like, look, that on Justice, he's got this like the sword, right? And he's got the balance in the other hand is the word I was looking for. And I feel like you have the power to like, chop this devil's head off to get rid of anything toxic in your life. I feel like it's going to require you to walk away from something. This is a lunar eclipse that is happening right here at the top of the card. So I do feel for some of you that you could be, it's like you're eclipsing something out of your life. And it could be something that you once did love at one point. But, it's a lunar eclipse. It could be emotional. It's like sometimes I think we can be emotionally attached to something with like the devil, and it's kind of like one of those things. It reminds me of fasting. It's like if you don't realize how attached to food you are, just try not to eat for a day, right? It's like all sorts of, like I've done it several times. And it's like like every single time it surprises me how like emotionally attached to food, for example, we are. And so for some of you, it's like I get that feeling here. With this reading. So let's see where this is going. That Ten of Wands, I feel like, is the amount of work that you've done in a romantic situation that you are walking away from. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. This is what you are looking for. You are looking for teamwork. You are looking for someone who wants to build something permanent. Ten of Pentacles, right? So if you're looking for love, I feel like that's what you are kind of like walking towards with that Three of Pentacles. With the Ten of Wands, Devil, you can't make this stuff up, Libra. It's like, I feel like this right here is really asking you to cut someone out of your life, or a toxic, if this is not a person, I would say that it's something that you need to cut out of your life that maybe you don't want to. Maybe you are having a hard time removing a person or something out of your life. I would look at it, again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have free will. You're free to do whatever and tarot shouldn't tell you what to do anyway, right? This is just loose advice. But what I would say is if something is stealing more than it is giving, the devil can just be an energy vampire, something that's sucking your life force away and isn't kind of returning the energy to you, then maybe it's time to take a look at that. And the Ten of Wands can say, yeah, no doubt about it. It can be a burden to look at something like that. Like if you love a person, but they're stealing your energy, it's like you don't want to admit it, right? So for some of you, I get that feeling for you here. And again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. It could be one of those things. It could also be an addiction, but an addiction doesn't have to be drugs. It could be Netflix. It could be video games. It could be anything, right? So I feel like some of you have to, or maybe you are looking at this and it could be uncomfortable. Justice really tells me you're trying to bring more balance into your life. You have the Knight of Wands here. So very inconsistent energy. Some of you could be cutting a person out who's inconsistent. For others, Knight of Wands kind of like says, that you need to be more spontaneous. This is very locked in energy right here. Remember what I was saying? I was getting that tight feeling, like in your neck or in your foot, right? It's like tight. It's a very tight feeling, and that's not Knight of Wands energy. Knight of Wands is free. He is spontaneous. He's able to do whatever he wants. He's loosey goosey, right? He probably does yoga. Probably, maybe. So I feel like he doesn't have the tightness, right? And I feel, as weird as this reading is, I feel like that's where it's going. I feel like it's saying a situation you're in is very tight. It's very restrictive. And it's like what you could be doing is very loose, very free, much more fun, not so serious, right? And that's like the energy that I get here for you, Libra. I don't know. I just read what I get, right? You have in the advice from your guides, you have the Dragonfly Spirit. This card says truth transcends illusion. If you've ever looked through a dragonfly's wings, it kind of has that shimmer, to it. It's almost like looking through a stained glass window. And so, dragonflies can represent an illusion or seeing something that is an illusion and needing to see the truth. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Four of Swords here. I feel like saying you don't have to feel weak, with the Five of Pentacles. Devil twice here, Ten of Wands, that is weakness. I'm not calling you weak. I'm saying that there are things in life that could be making you feel weak. This guy here, he has this bell around his neck, and the bell represents calling attention to your weaknesses. Basically back in the day when we had lepers had to wear bells around their neck so people knew when they were walking down the street. The card represents needing to not call attention to your weaknesses. And by the way, there is a stained glass window right here. Like I was saying, there's also one on the Four of Swords here. It's like you can't make this stuff up. Exactly what the dragonfly, as a totem animal, kind of represents. In this deck, I don't think she says anything about this being a stained glass window, but in the Animal Speaks book by Ted Andrews, I think, he talks all about how the dragonfly is like an illusion, or like looking through a stained glass window. So it's funny that you have two stained glass windows in this row right here. So I feel for a lot of you that this is like, and by the way, on the Five of Pentacles, there's this anchor right here with the Five Pentacles, so it can represent something that is keeping you stuck. And you have the Eight of Swords here. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about needing to set yourself free from something that is like much more of an illusion, has the illusion of being supportive. Maybe it's a person, right? Has the illusion of it, but maybe they're not really supportive. For others, it could be like a job or a business that you're walking away from. It's kind of like a heavy energy here. I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, I feel this looseness on the other side. Like if you can set yourself free from this energy, it's gonna bring you to this more Knight of Wands place. Knight of Wands is a little scary because, it's a mystery. He has these pyramids down here, and the pyramids represent mysteries. So it's kind of like the freedom is a little bit scary because it's like, if let's say you're like, a job is sucking away your life, right? It's like to go and maybe get a new job or to quit and look for a new job, especially at this time, or to start a business or whatever you're doing. It can be scary, there's freedom because it's like you can do whatever you want, but it's also scary because it's like, will you find a job? Will you get one in enough time so that you can pay your bills? It's like, I have all these questions. Seven of Cups. Whenever I have Seven of Cups in a reading like this, to me, it can represent like these rushing thoughts. The reason I don't really say it is because for me, I would have to see something like the Knight of Swords here as on top of the Seven of Cups to say that it truly represents rushing thoughts. But I do kind of get that for you here. You have with the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Definitely, again, part of me feels like there is new love coming in for you, but At the same time, I kind of feel like you're more just focused on yourself at this time, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. The King of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, especially the Eight of Pentacles, to me can be a card of personal development because it's a card of mastery, right? And who in the entire deck has the most self mastery other than the Emperor is probably this guy right here, the King of Wands. So it doesn't matter what gender you are. I just feel like this is the energy that you're embracing of the King of Wands, and it's like I feel this very bold, like you're stepping up to this very bold, assertive kind of place, or you will be in the very near future. Here you go. Eight of Swords, Emperor, exactly like I was saying. So I feel like you're becoming more bold, becoming more assertive. The Emperor with the Eight of Swords, like the Emperor, he has a very solid plan. He knows like what he needs to do. He knows he needs to kind of like work towards something here. So I really feel that for some of you, you just need to kind of like charge forward towards some sort of goal with the Eight of Pentacles. And kind of like I was saying, sometimes I think with the Eight of Pentacles as well, the reason I'm saying this is more about you is because sometimes I think maybe when we do switch the focus from external, like other people, to ourselves, then we do attract like true love into our lives, especially if we're truly working on making ourselves, better, healing ourselves, growing a business, taking care of ourselves, whatever. It's like when we become truly independent, that is where we, attract a much better, like, independent type of person. It's like I see a lot of people saying how independent they are. I'm sure you've seen this as well, where it's like there are all these people that are like, I'm so independent, as if it's like a badge of honor. It's like, great, you do things alone. That sounds lonely and boring. But there is a sense of true independence in your reading here, Libra, where it's like not like I don't need anybody in my life, which I don't understand that whole movement in the first place. All these people that are like, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, I don't need a whatever. It's like men and women are better together, or again, whatever gender you're attracted to doesn't matter. I'm just making a regular statement here, right? But what I would say is like people, let's put it this way, people, we are better together. We are not better apart from each other. And again, even if you don't want love, right? It's like there are plenty of people who won't ask people for help or whatever. It's like, what I would say here is that this is true independence. And being independent is like taking care of yourself. But again, it could also represent asking others for help, building a community, 10 of Pentacles, working together with other people, asking your family for help. I think like, one thing that I, hope I can always get across is that there are a lot of people who are like, oh, I never asked for help, as if it's like some sort of badge of honor. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. If you truly believe in creating abundance, right? It's like when you ask a person for help, you are providing abundance because, how good does it feel when you can help a person? It feels really good, right? So it's like by asking for help, you're just creating more abundance in the world. So that's why I think I always tell people, ask for help. You need help doing something, ask for help, because you're just creating more abundance, which is just going to bring more abundance in for you. And I kind of get that here, Libra. Rant over. With the Four of Swords, you have the Six of Cups here. Some sort of turnaround or like a gift coming in for you here. So I do feel like there's like some sort of gift from the universe coming in for you. Probably because you're working on yourself. I know it doesn't sound very exciting, but Eight of Pentacles, like I said, I feel like for those of you that are creating true independence for yourself, then, I feel like that's what's going on here, is like you're going to be experiencing a turnaround in your life with the Six of Cups. Again, what I'm trying to stress here is like the message is popping into my head here, Libra, is like there's independence, the defense mechanism, and then there's independence being truly independent. But that doesn't mean you don't need someone else or other people in your life, right? And to me, those are two totally different things. And so, number one, I feel like you're understanding that. Number two, I feel like you could be developing relationships here, not just love either, by the way. It could be any type of relationship, and I feel like that will be very beneficial. For those of you looking for love, I do feel like there could be a fire sign coming in for you here. It looks like some of you could be going from one fire sign to another. I feel like I said this to you recently, but it's popping into my head as two different people here. Or you could be, this could also be like a Capricorn or someone who has a lot of Capricorn in their chart, which I feel like I've said to you as well, that you are walking away from, and you could be walking towards a fire sign. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think your questions. 1, 2, 3. If you don't have questions, that's fine. We're just going to put them all together. For question number 1, yes, Page of Pentacles, definitely yes. I feel pretty good about this, so yes. Question number 2, yes, 6 of Wands, success. I feel like there's success coming in for you. And question number 3, yes, damn. Yes, definitely. This could be the new person coming in for you. Again, it could be this King of Wands type of person. Again, I would say that it's true, someone who is truly independent, not independent, the defense mechanism. This person, they truly can take care of themselves, and they have probably integrated, their energy into themselves very well. I'm trying to think of some good examples here. The thing about people who are truly independent is like they do their own thing. They look at people more as a complement to their life. They don't look at people as something they need, right? Devil energy is someone who needs people in their life because they need to suck the energy away from them. A person who's truly independent, it's like they are their own source, right? They get all the energy from themselves. They don't need anything external. And that's like the best person to be with because it's like then you can be a complement to their life, they can be a complement to your life, and it's like truly more of a co-creative experience, not something that's like a competitive experience with the devil. So I feel like that's what you're attracting into your life here. That's a pretty deep reading, Libra, I have to say. And for those of you who are not looking for love, this looks very good for work or business. And again, I would say that you're entering into the same space where it's not competitive, it's more co-creative. I've had this message for a couple of signs over the past couple of weeks, and it definitely doesn't surprise me that it's coming up for you. So I feel like you have a lot more abundance to look forward to. It looks pretty good. So thank you for being here, Libra. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.